As we consider the historical context, one cannot ignore how neighboring nations viewed the events of 1953. For instance, the overthrow of a democratically elected leader can serve as a cautionary tale, prompting regimes in the region to tighten their grip on power in an effort to avoid a similar fate. The specter of foreign intervention looms large, seeding distrust among the populace towards external influences. This in turn complicates the efforts of international actors seeking to mediate conflicts, as many view diplomacy through the lens of past betrayals. Amidst these intricate dynamics, we encounter the case of the Arab Spring, which unfolded years later with fervent cries for democracy echoing throughout the region. Activists sought change, inspired partially by the Cold War-era complexities and the persistent shadow of interventions like the 1953 coup. While some nations embraced reform, others clung to authoritarianism, reminded of the fates that befell leaders considered too lenient or too accommodating to foreign powers. The interconnectedness of historical grievances reframes our understanding of each uprising, as citizens wrestle with the ramifications of past interventions, both foreign and domestic. Countries like Libya and Syria mirrored Iran's struggles, each battling their historical demons while grappling with foreign entanglements and civil unrest. As protests erupted in the streets, the echoes of the 1953 coup resonated within their cries for justice, with revolutionaries recalling how external meddling facilitated authoritarian rule. Leaders in these nations became increasingly wary of any perceived foreign support for dissent, often branding protesters as pawns of foreign powers, thus justifying crackdowns. This cycle of fear and repression, rooted in history, has only served to entrench enmity and resistance. Understanding the relationship between these modern uprisings and the coup's legacy provides crucial insight into the ongoing conflicts. Grievances are rarely isolated incidents, but are instead interwoven narratives shaped by decades of political maneuvering. The stories of these nations reveal how past actions influence current realities, demonstrating that the past does not remain stagnant, but instead weaves itself into the fabric of the future. As we analyze these dynamics, the importance of focusing on empathy and reconciliation becomes clear. Healing cannot occur in a vacuum, but must involve addressing the historical injustices that continue to reverberate today. Ultimately, recognizing the persistence of these legacies is key to cultivating a future where understanding trumps resentment, allowing nations to navigate the complexities of their shared histories. As we turn our gaze toward the aftermath of the Arab Spring, it becomes evident that the lessons from the 1953 coup remain potent. In Tunisia, initial hopes for democracy met with political backlash, as the ruling party faced accusations of authoritarianism reminiscent of the past. The swift rise and fall of leaders in this volatile climate underscored the precarious nature of power, shaped by a legacy of outside influence and internal strife. While the international community offered support, many citizens remained wary, haunted by the ghosts of prior interventions. This delicate balancing act continues to challenge efforts toward stability. Meanwhile, in Syria, the civil unrest morphed into a full-blown conflict, painting a grim picture of despair. The enduring impact of the 1953 coup is not merely historical. It is a living narrative that shapes the identities and futures of nations today. By acknowledging these complexities, we pave the way for dialogue that can eventually mend the divides forged by past grievances, fostering a more hopeful path forward.